Now, before we get into this entertaining video, we would just like to remind you to like and subscribe.
Yes, please do like and subscribe.
Sunflowers! Well, hello there, everyone, and how are you guys today? Well, I'm here because somebody has requested a reading on Robert Pattinson. Now, I'm familiar with him from the Twilight days, and let me dare not say that on his reading because he despised the day he played at Crones. However, I see that Robert Pattinson is up and popping in his career right now. He is in Batman. He's supposed to be apparently co-starring with Zendaya in a TV series or a movie called The Drama. So like Robert Pattinson really got it all going on. And within the last 12 months, he has been wed and had a baby. So on top of that, there is a lot going on. Secretly wed on top of that. So I just want to know what's going on with Robert Pattinson at this moment. Well, somebody wanted to know what's going on with Robert Pattinson at this moment. So this card will represent him. However, like I said, he also has a lot going on in his love life. The fact that he just recently had a child within the last 3 months. So both him and his wife is adjusting to being newlyweds. However, this is a reading on him, but just because he does have a wife and a recent child. I probably should have gotten the child card, but we'll see how that comes up. But first, let me shuffle the cards, and then I'll place her in and see if she will pop up towards the top. So let's see. What is going on with just Robert Pattinson right now? I preferably want to know about his career, but he also got a lot going on in his love life. So let's just see what's going on with him, period. Okay. Well, just put that card there. His wife. Let me see. I think I wrote his wife's name down real quick. I forgot. Suki Waterhouse. What a name, right? Okay, so Suki Waterhouse is his wife. So here she is. And now we're going to slide her in and see if she pops up. Wow, oh my, okay. What is going on here with Robert Pattinson? First off, I see there's a lot of people cards in his reading. Here we have him, and immediately in front of him, even though it may not look like he's looking directly at this woman, his body is kind of turned to the side as if he's supposed to be looking at her, but not directly. So because of that, he's looking at this female, and this female, I was not expecting her to pop up. So first off, we are going to find out who this female is, because the card I put to represent his wife was right here, which was on a diagonal, which represents an indirect influence. And through that too, the other person card happens to be a wealthy man. So it's good to see that not only is there another woman in the picture, there's another man in the picture too. So therefore, at this moment, I can maybe say that he is not cheating on his wife. However, at this very moment, the polar bear. I always like to start with this card because this is really what's going to hone in, I believe, on Robert Pattinson. I'm actually going to start on his bottom and what he's accomplished, mainly because I guess personally that's like what I know him for, but really it's going to make sense. So this polar bear symbolizes somebody who initiates a jealousy in other people. And like I said earlier, Robert Pattinson's career sounds like it's really kicking off and popping off right now. And he's like in his prime of his acting career. And because of that, I feel as though, when you're always at the top of your game, there's always going to be somebody that is jealous of you, especially because he has snagged the role of Batman two, how would you say, like 2 movies and back to back or in a row. So because of that, he's portraying a huge character. I'm not sure specifically which universe Batman is related to. I want to say the Marvel universe, but I might be wrong. But Batman is a very popular superhero. So because of that, for Batman to be playing this role, he is really getting his image out there and really showing that he can play these roles. And maybe this could be like a way of showing that he's diverse too. Who knows? And he has more projects coming up too on top of that. So like Robert Pattinson is like a hot commodity on the block right now. And sometimes when you're a hot commodity, you just happen to catch negative press and negative attention just because some people just don't like when things are being handed to you, because right above him at this present moment, this represents his present. He's on a lucky streak. Like I said, he has things coming towards him. He's at the prime of his career. Things are really going his way. It's like almost everything he's getting assigned to is just elevating and boosting his career even more. So it just seems like he is just really on a roll career-wise. And now I'm going to be looking on his outside influences because I'm still on the bottom row. But earlier, that's going to still connect me to the outside influence. That's still going to connect me to the outside influence, which symbolizes a wealthy man. And like I said, Robert Pattinson just happens to have it all together in his career right now, and because of that, he could be making other actors or actress being jealous of the roles that he is getting. And because of that, like I said, he could be at the prime of his moment, and because he's at the prime of his career in his life right now, he is portrayed as a wealthy man. And because he is portrayed as a wealthy man, that too will also ignite jealousy, because like I said, that means that's somebody that's really at the top of the status. Somebody where we could like literally call them like an A-lister. So like Robert Pattinson is like playing, is like getting up there in roles, and the more roles that he gets and the more exposure he gets, and maybe the more, maybe he's not going to get typecasted, but maybe he's going to find his niche in the acting career and will really be able to blossom in that. And because of that, that's what I see people are jealous of, the potential that he can have, because he is business minded. He has been trying so hard, even though he was not a fan of, even though he was not a fan of, Twilight, and I'm only mentioning this because when I looked up Twilight, literally Decode, which was by Paramore, which was dedicated to Twilight at the time, Hosley just recently performed that on tour. And then also, I just happened to come across an article talking about how it was funny that Robert Pattinson hates Twilight, basically, or the fact that he was getting like shipped with his co-star Christian Stewart. But mind all that to be said, because of that, he persevered, and that was just, maybe he didn't know it was going to be big and booming like that, but because of that, he was able to continue off of the success with that. Now, I know it's been many years later, but he's still a name in the industry. It's not like he's some washed out actor now that nobody talks about. Robert Pattinson has still managed to maintain his legacy in the career, in the acting industry. So because of that, people could still be jealous about where he's come from and how he's gained success. That was a really long explanation to talk about those two cards, but this book represents secrets, which honestly, Robert Pattinson does have a mysterious aura to him, and he does like to keep things very secretive and private. I just think he just likes to keep his love life, probably especially after Kristen Stewart, but he would just really like to keep his love life from private, and his, home life or private life, literally private. He doesn't want it to be out in the open. I'm not even sure if he just recently showed pictures of their first child 3 months later. So because of that, they are like really not in the media like that. And because of that, he likes to keep his secret. I don't want to say he likes to keep his secrets, but he just likes to have some privacy and keep some things to himself and not always share things with the public. I guess that's one way of him keeping himself sane within this music industry, because looking at another direct influence going from there, from the book, we have the mountain, which symbolizes, like I was talking about earlier, with this wealthy man and this polar bear. This is how it would be. This is how it would look. Robert Pattinson can, I don't want to say feel isolated or alone in the acting industry, but maybe because he keeps so much of himself cut off. Maybe some people just really don't get to know Robert Pattinson, and because of that, maybe he doesn't really have many associates, or maybe has made friends within the acting industry, although he has managed to attain a wife. He has managed to attain a wife, though, and them together have managed to seclude into their own little home, their own little tower, their own little, I know this is a weird analysis, but their own little Rapunzel castle. They're just own little area, just them, their child, and the love that they have for each other. And that's like their safe haven where they can go and be themselves and love each other. Now, you remember how I said that there just happened to be another male and another female in this reading, and it seems like it just turns out to describe another personalities of Robert and his significant other. Now, if you want to say that Robert Pattinson is cheating, I can't possibly see it, and I'm not too sure about his record and if he is considered a faithful person, but that's just how it's coming off to the cards with me, because first off, somebody that's so secretive and private about their life, I don't think they're going to want to be out there in the streets getting a reputation out in the streets, especially when you're an actor, because people start to talk and then things start to spread around the industry, and now you've got like a secret whisper rumor going around about you, and maybe that's going to start blackballing you and stuff like that. So you got to be really careful about how you maneuver yourself in this industry, and Robert Pattinson has learned that well from his experiences in the past, and because of that, he has now grown, and now he is able to maybe he even found himself through the industry and found what he is starting to like and what roles he does best and what characters or what emotions does he really embody the best. Because every actor could pretty much do anything, but like, what are they really good at? Like, what do they specialize in that sense? And I think that Robert Pattinson is starting to find his specialty in the industry. Now, as I was saying earlier, in his past, which represents his, I'm going to say like his recent past, but also like his near future, which I was talking about him being so private and so isolated and so secretive. He recently just secretly got married, and because of that, he didn't just secretly have a baby, but he just secretly got married, and because of that, that is something that he kept, like I said, some memories that they can keep for himself and not share with anybody. They didn't want to share their wedding. They didn't want it to be an extravagant wedding. They didn't want it to, I mean, it probably was, but they didn't want it to be an extravagant wedding for the media to see, for everybody to see, like as a spectacular for everybody to gawk and look at. So because of that, they kept some stuff to themselves, and for that, it's always going to be a little special place in their heart. How funny I said that, because just on this line right here is the cage, which symbolizes the rose, which can represent platonic love or romantic love. And in this case, it represents romantic love. And also, I could say this is wife, because all in the same row, this is what the cards are showing. But also right above, the caged love, something that's you can hold close to your heart that nobody else knows, and it's just like something for us, our little I don't want to say our little secret, but our little innuendo, our little inside joke. That's how it comes off in this way. And literally the way it all lines up is all this feminine energy. So this literally has to be his wife, Suki Waterhouse. And they, like I said, that road was right above her was the tower of them secretly getting wed. And because of that, that was another little thing that they could put in their books of memories that they can keep, that are close to themselves and that they can keep for themselves and be special and have their little moments that nobody else really knows or will ever get. But they like know. So you know how you're able to keep things private, and like with the people you like really truly love, that's kind of what they wanted. So because of that, we also see this main woman, who I said is going to represent his wife, is right above this card, which happens to be in the same line of another female, which also happens to turn out to be his another symbolization of his wife, which also means, like I said earlier, that the fact that he's looking at her. Now, I know he's looking at her and she may not be looking at him, but all that to be said, that he's got her back. And whatever she's looking at something that he's not looking at. So altogether, they're able to work. She's able to like see into the best way I'm going to say it is, she can see into the future and see what's coming, while he's looking at her, protecting her, and making sure everything's okay. So therefore, she's going to be able to convey that message for him to be able to react and be able to, I guess, best suit her needs, basically. If you know if that means a give or take relationship where it's a 50-50, and it is we work together and balance each other out and fill each other where we are filling each other where we're like missing, basically filling each other's pieces, if you could say that. So my question is, what would be his problem? I'm just curious, what is a problem that he could have? Because this sounds so good for both his career and his love life, that I'm just like, what could possibly be going wrong with Robert Pattinson at this exact moment? That's funny. There's something concerning him. Could it be about his wife? Could it be about his marriage? The Sun. Concerned about the Sun. Concerned about being too exposed or being too out in the open. Maybe having all these, okay. What could be the problem is he just recently had a baby, right? 3 months ago. So he's pretty much a newlywed and a newly first-time father at that. And he has all of these opportunities lined up for him to act, which is going to take him away from his house and his wife. And on top of that, even though like 9 months ago he like knew this baby was coming, he committed to these obligations anyway, but like now the reality has like fully set in that, oh my, we, like him and his wife, oh my God, we really have a child now. And it's kind of just like, how are we going to, she could be an actor herself too. So it's just like, well, if they both go acting, who's going to be watching the child? So because of that, it's like, great, I'm at the peak of the top of my career at this moment. But all at the same time, I now just added a child to that. And now it's just like, how do I tend to my child and these obligations I've pre-signed myself to? So that's what he's concerned about, his family unit, and what is he going to do with his career at this moment, especially because he knows it's so booming and popping right now. So let's see what the outcome card is going to be. Oh, the Lovers. Okay, we could take that. The Lovers and the Journey. So basically, the Lovers symbolize maybe, so he might drop out of some projects because he might want to focus on his lovers. He wants to be in love. He wants to enjoy the married life, the child life, the parent life, the family life, the husband life. He wants to enjoy all of that, and he can't enjoy that while also doing all these movies. So because of that, he might cut back on some of them. He might try to prioritize which ones might make him the best lucrative decisions in the future, going forward. But sometimes, how hard that's going to do depends on really how the audience receives it. But all that to be said is that it's a journey that he's on. And who knows, maybe he could be really aging out. I know he's like in his mid-30s, so he could be going on 40. And maybe he could really be thinking about settling down like he did. Got a wife, got her pregnant, and now they have a child. And now that's even another memory they can share together, because now they can share a moment of having a first child together. So because of that, there's so many things going on with his life that he's kind of put in this position of, where do I go with my life? I have a family and a career at the same time. It's probably a little overwhelming for him at this moment. But at the same time, we'll see in the future what he does, and if he will remain with some of these obligations that he has pre-signed himself to, if they haven't yet already started filming. And hopefully he was able to take some leave to go see his wife, if he was filming when she gave birth, and was able to maybe spend a little bit of time with her before going to have to go back to film. And now it's 3 months and who knows what's going on. So with that being said, Robert Pattinson's career is kicking, and also at the same time, he's also has the family that he's desired and wanted to create, and he's also in blissful heaven with that as well at this very moment, with being newlywed and a new parent as well. So with all that, he's just living his life to the fullest, literally right now. And now he just has to make some decisions on what is he going to do and prioritize some things, because now the reality is sitting in that he has a child that he has to look forward to, which I know he already knew to check that off. I got the money, everything for that. What this child needs, I can afford in abundance. But now it's just like, how can I still keep the money flowing in and also still supporting my child at the same time and being there for their needs and growing up with them, especially because this is my first child. Why would I want to basically abandon my first child with a nanny and go out and do all these things with careers? So with that to be said, and who knows, maybe his wife wants to go out and do whatever she does if she's an actor, and because of that, maybe it's just like, well, maybe she doesn't want to be a stay-at-home mom, and then he doesn't want to be a stay-at-home dad, or maybe they both want to be stay-at-home parents. So now it's got to be like, now they got to figure out how they're going to, I guess you could say, parent or co-parent a child and their career at the same time. So with that being said, I hope you enjoyed this reading about Robert Pattinson and about his career and his love life. And with that being said, Please give this video a thumbs up if you made it this far and if you like this content. And also please subscribe if you have not subscribed already. It will really help the channel if you subscribe. And please leave a comment if there's anybody else that you would like me or Lady Crone to read on. And with that being said, I hope you enjoyed this video and I will see you guys on the next one. Sunflowers!